I'm normally last here.
Okay, well, trinkets is just anything kind of small. What would you get? Like, you put it on a shelf, porcelain ballerina. Like a one-of-a-kind, like true.
My thing's not working.
Is
She
it
can't
working?
hear me.
I can hear you.
You can?
Yep.
And I said I'm normally last here, not first.
I know. This is awesome, right? My sister's gonna join in. She's working a booth right now, so I think she's gonna listen when she can.
Who's that?
My sister Kim.
Oh, Kim.
Yeah. And then I have it on Facebook right now, so others might join in while we're on Facebook. So. But I will go ahead and just get started, being mindful of everybody's time and everything. So let me start off while others join in with doing some shout outs here real fast. Some of the July shout outs. I know July was slow to get started, but man, we had a really strong end of month in July. And we had 4 people who gained new team members: Mel Conway, Laura Dunn, Melissa Hussey, I think that's how you pronounce her last name, and Jody McDonald. So congratulations, you guys, on your new recruits, and welcome new team members to our team. And with that, in July, I wanted to do the top 10 sales as well. We have Emily Howard, Susan Misson, Christy Lee Frazier, who Christy's also a brand new consultant for the month of July, Sarah Vanzetti, Kristen Palmer, Laura Dunn, Kim Colbert, Catherine Sargent, Justine Creedlin, and Shai Zillman. So congratulations, everyone. Great job on finishing strong with the last catalog that we had. And here we are with the brand new catalog. And I can't wait to see what the holidays bring. I'm getting super excited. And I can't wait for all the products to get delivered and show up and everything. With that, that kind of segments into things. There are some shipping delays. The air purifier didn't quite make it to the home office yet. So if anybody in Region 1 has ordered air purifiers and wondering why they haven't shipped yet, they're shipping them as soon as they get to the home office. Australia, you guys are having some shipping delays because of lockdowns and everything. So just be patient. They have basically like 3 people working in the warehouse in Australia trying to ship and bag all the orders and stuff. So they're working as fast and as quickly as they can, and doing everything they need to be doing during the restrictions and everything. So no, orders are coming and getting shipped out. It might just take a little bit longer than normal. So let's learn all about samples. So first, I'm going to talk about why as consultants, we should be having samples on hand, why we should be handing out samples and things like that. But I also want to talk about how samples have kind of changed over the years. So I'll start with that. So when I first became a consultant, the only items in the catalog were warmers, and we didn't even have the plug-in warmers. We just had the full-size warmers. So there's warmers, wax, room sprays, scent circles, and maybe Traveltons. I can't remember exactly if those came a little bit later. That's all we had in the catalog. There was nothing else. So as the years have gone by, Scentsy has added other products to the catalog. So when I first became a consultant, and I always tell people to start with the same, like back to basics, right? When you're first a consultant, what is the number one product to get in your customer's hands? The wax, right? So the wax is like the heart, the original, the OG, right, of the Scentsy business idea and everything. So if you can get the wax in their hands, then they'll pick a warmer and see how it works and kind of go from there. And there's so many different scents and stuff. Don't get hung up on, oh, I don't know what scent to use because not everybody's going to like it. Just pick a scent and go with it, and just tell them, hey, if this isn't your cup of tea, so to say, you know what? I have there's over 80 other different scents that you can test out and try and see if you like that way. And that's when they can start smelling the testers and stuff like that. So after the wax, then we had, I can't remember exactly the order, but I do believe laundry care came in and then body care came in. And then the cleaning supplies were one of the last things that we just got. And honestly, the final last thing that came are the pet products. So these are all items that we can make samples on as long as we're following the rules and guidelines set forth by the home office and local area governments in your areas. We have to follow those guidelines because we don't want anybody getting in trouble on anything. So the why make samples? The number one reason is it gets the products in your customers' hands and it's allowing them to try before they buy. If they don't know what the counter cleaner is going to do and what it's going to, how it's going to work on their counters. So give them a sample of it and have them test it out. I don't know exactly what Scentsy Fresh is, so give them a sample of it and have them spray it on their couches or their beds or wherever, curtains or carpets, and have them test it out. See if they like the way that it works. Because once they try it, they're more likely to end up buying it, and then you can introduce them to the other product lines as well too. The samples are also great for thank yous, for placing an order or hosting a party, or thank you for being a loyal customer, things like that. They're also a great way to introduce them to the new lines. Is like, for instance, we had French lavender. A lot of people bought it in the wax, but then I gave them samples of the French lavender washer whiffs and they got hooked on the laundry care items. And then we've had French lavender, I think, in other, I think we had it in the cleaning supplies. I can't remember exactly. Things changed too much for me, but I introduced them to the different product lines and that allowed them to keep using their favorite scent just in different ways. So kind of think outside the box on things like that. And honestly, samples are an easy way to follow up with someone. When you hand out the sample, make sure you have their contact information and then call them, text them, email them, whatever it is. If you're Facebook friends with them or friends with them on other social medias, direct message them and go, hey, did you have a chance to try the body lotion that you got a sample of? I'd love to hear what you thought about it. And they'll say, oh, yeah, I did, or no, I didn't get a chance yet. And you can go, hey, self-care Saturday's coming up. Why don't you test it out on Saturday after you get out of the shower and see how nice and smooth your skin feels and everything. And then that gives you a time and a day where you just suggested that they're going to test it out. And then you can follow up with them the next week and just say, so did you get a chance to try it? And, kind of go from there. Something that I also do with my VIP group is I have people, when they get samples, I have them do a testimony, like a product testimony on my VIP page. And I tell them if they do that, I'll give them like a special gift. And it's usually like a coupon for a certain amount off, or I'll send them a scent circle or something. Nothing really crazy big. It's just a thank you for letting others know, because yes, we as consultants can be telling everybody how amazing the products are, but we're also the sales guys, right? So some people might look at it as, oh, it's just the car salesman telling me I need to buy this card because it's their job. No. Yes, we are telling them that because, yes, it is our job, but two, we also really do love the products. But when they hear it from other people who have nothing invested in it, then they get excited and go, you know what, Susie tried that. Maybe I should try that too. And then you can follow up with a comment under that post and go, oh, I'm so glad you loved it. This line also has all these other, or that scent has all these other items in that same line that you might like, or, if somebody else wants to try this, let me know. I can send you a sample too, things like that. When do you want to hand out samples? Honestly, all year round. You want to be getting those products in front of people's noses and having them touching and feeling it. So to go along with that, what I like to do is I like to make a big old batch of samples at the beginning of the season. So then I have them readily available to hand out for the next 6 months. That can get overwhelming sometimes because you got to designate the time and things like that. But you've already done the block of work, and like I said, you already have it ready, so you can just easily grab and go and hand them out as needed. You can also just make samples as needed throughout the month or the weeks or the catalog season, things like that. But the biggest thing you need to remember is you must hand out what you make. Otherwise, you just totally wasted your time, right? And I did this as a new consultant. I was like, oh yeah, I'll hand this out. But then in the back of my mind, I thought, well, they aren't really interested in like buying this. Why do I want to waste my time and money and hand this out to them, knowing that they probably aren't going to buy? You can't you can't make the decisions for your customers. Hand it out to them because you never know what it is that's going to get them hooked on something. You never know if they're just going to hand it off to somebody else in their family or in their neighborhood and say, oh yeah, I got this cool sample, you should try this, my friend Kelly sells it, things like that. So don't make predetermined judgments on what it is that people are going to do. And same with anything that we have in our catalog. You can't decide for the customers. The customers have to decide for themselves. So we may think that something is too expensive for them because we may know their financial situations, but we can't let that be a part of us sharing the products with them. They have to decide what it is. So share, get the products out in front of them and let the customers decide what they do and do not like and what they can and cannot afford. You also never know if you hand out maybe a washer whiff to somebody and then they're like, you know what, this is amazing. And I've seen what you're doing as a consultant. How do I be a part of this amazing world? And samples can sometimes turn people into team members. So literally you don't know what it's going to bring for whatever person. So who do you want to hand it out to? You want to hand it out, once again, everyone that you meet. So hosts, party guests, booth customers in general, people who are new to Scentsy world. You can even break it down more. Like I have a booth coming up and I'm really excited for it. And it's a dog event and it's called Hounds on the Hill and it's really, really cute. But it's this huge dog event, right? So I'm going to showcase the pet line of products and I'm going to have these cute little doggy bags made up. They're made out of dog poo bags and everything. It's going to be really, really cute. I'll do a video for you guys to show you what I put in it and made it up and everything. But I'm going to have people fill out the drawing slips, right? Fill out the drawing slips. And every time they either purchase something from me at the booth or fill out a drawing slip, I'm going to give them the sample pack. And then I have all their contact information and I can, send a thank you to them for stopping by my booth and learning about the Scentsy pet line of products. But I can also follow up after that thank you and see how wonderful their dog's fur smelled and how soft it was and everything like that. So put samples in your purses or your mobile office so that if somebody's like, oh, hey, you sell Scentsy, can I get a catalog? Yes, you can. And have you seen our new sugar scrubs? And they'll be like, what? No, I haven't. And then you can, hand that out to them. Let's see. I'll go on how and the what kind of go hand in hand together. So I'm going to talk about those both together here right now. So how basically you want to pick one item, make a sample, and go on from there with it. You're going to want to make sure you label everything with your contact information so that they can easily get a hold of you. And you also need to make sure you put the proper information needed on the samples for one, that falls under the Scentsy consultant guidelines, but also for your region's governmental agencies, whatever they say has to be on those samples and stuff like that. Honestly, most of whatever's in the consultant guideline pretty much falls for what pretty much all government agencies say needs to be on there. So some of the things that need to be on there, basically the ingredients and the directions of use on those samples. That's why that All About Samples Facebook group is so wonderful to have because the people who are the admins on there making the labels, they put all that information on there for us. All we have to do is print it off. So you know, how totally awesome. I thank them all the time for being so amazing, and because they're doing that just to share. They aren't getting anything out of being the admins of that group except knowing that other consultants are having success with the samples and stuff. So it's a great way to share. You can ask if there's a specific scent to be made into a label, and they'll quickly make it up if they can do that, if they have the time to do that and stuff too. So definitely join that group page. It'll save you lots of time and energy. So what should you make samples out of? And I'm going to show you guys lots of samples here right now. But really, any line, for the most part, you can make a sample out of. Just make sure, like I said, those ingredients and those directions are on there. So I'm going to start with the bread and butter of our business, which is the wax. And as you all know, we have bars. Australia, you don't have bricks yet. And Europe, you don't have bricks yet. But hopefully you guys will eventually get bricks. Like I think that would be like game changer for you guys out there. But those of you in region 1, bricks are also a great way to do samples because you can take that 1 cent and make a ton of samples, but 1 bar still makes a really large amount of samples. So there's multiple ways that you can do this with the bar. You can simply take the bar out of the clamshell and get like a knife or what is it, the Jillian cutters, you know, that make the wavy kind of cuts in the wax and stuff. You know, do whatever you want. Cut it up, put it in a baggie, and the consultant store has bags. I think they changed the size, but this was the size that I have. It's like the size of a business card. Throw the wax in there, staple on the scent and any label information that you need. Really, with the wax, you just need the scent name. It's pretty self-explanatory what it is. But then you can hand them out that way. You can melt the wax down and pour it into one of the molds that's also in the consultant store for us. That takes a little bit of time because it has to re-harden back up. A trick that you could do with it is melt the wax, pour it in the mold, quickly stick the mold in the fridge, even though we really shouldn't be putting wax and stuff in the fridge because it has something to do with the oils. Chuck always tells me, and it always goes in one ear and out the other, but it doesn't have the greatest scent throw, basically, once it's been in there. Anyhow, cool it down really quickly. Use a cookie sheet because this is flimsy, and cool it down real fast. It should probably be hard enough in a couple of minutes, and then pop that sample in the bag. What I like to do is use the little felts, and I'll dip the felts in my warmer. Usually I use like a tweezer to do it because then the wax doesn't get on under my nails and everything. So I just dip it in there and put it on like some parchment paper and let it harden up. And then I just stick that in the bag. And I like using the felts because it's flat. So I can easily put it in an envelope and mail it off to somebody. And it's not going to need the bulk stamp rate and everything like that. So that's kind of the wax, but something that many of you have probably started realizing is you got all these extra testers from catalog transitions and maybe a scent isn't available anymore, but you still have this tester sitting in your house. I have a giant moving box back here. It's back there. That's all little testers. And I don't want to just throw them away because they're useful. But they're also taking up space. So what I started doing is I'm handing out the little testers as my samples to people. I don't care if it's current scent or not a current scent because I like to call it the unicorn scent. You know, hey, that scent's available, but this one was it's from collection number 3. It was one of the special collections that came out, I think, last year. So it doesn't have a name or a color or anything. I'd have to look it up, but you know what? They could smell it and see if they like it, and then I can maybe, if I still have the piece of paper, tell them what it was. If not, I'll be like, that was a special unicorn scent, you know, how awesome that you got that, you know, you won a prize there. So what I do with these testers is I just stick a couple in the bag, and then, like I said, I think the new consultant bags are a little bit bigger, so you can double layer them. put my contact information or just staple my business card to this. Now they got wax that they can try out. And one, it gets rid of the testers out of my house. It has them trying out different scents that they probably wouldn't have tried before. The other thing I can do with these testers is I can break them up into smaller pouch parties because I have multiples that are duplicated that continue from season to season. So then I can do that with it. You can actually melt these down and use them with the felt samples. Try it that way. There's lots of different things that you can do. When I was cleaning my office, I forgot that I used to do this with the old wax testers. But what I did is I got the circle labels from Avery and I put my information on there. And on it, it says time to reorder new scents, Kelly Tilton with my website and my phone number, right? And then what I do is I take the tester, and here's the fun part. I take my sticker, I put it on the tester, and then I have these either magnet tape or there's actually little circle magnets that you can buy in the stores. I put it on the back and then they stick this on their fridge. Not only do they have an awesome one, it gets rid of testers, right? They have my contact information so that they can call me up. They have a scent that they can smell while they're waiting. This is actually Blue Grotto. I didn't know that before I smelled it. But they have a scent that they can smell, and it'd be really cool to do that with their absolute #1 favorite scent if you have extra testers for it. But it sticks on their refrigerator, right? And then your name and your tester is always in front of them every time they're getting into the fridge, so they know, oh, hey, yeah, I need to call Kelly and get a new light bulb, or oh yeah, I need to call Kelly and get that favorite scent of mine. Let me smell it real fast. Love it, and then they can do it that way. Customers can also turn these testers upside down in their warmers. Turn on the warmer, it'll melt the wax, take the tester part out, the wax stays in their warmer, throw the tester out, and then they've had a sample that they can try. So utilize what you have when it comes to the wax and stuff. These types of things are also great during Bring Back My Bar. If you have a scent that was discontinued and came back, you can use it to sample for people or use those testers to put into a Bring Back My Bar pouch party or something like that. So that's a lot of information about wax, but like I said, it is the bread and butter of our business. So the more ways you can get it in front of people, the more ways that they can try and buy. I'll move on to the cleaning because there's not that many products in cleaning, so we'll kind of go that way. We'll start with the dish soap. Okay, I think you guys might call it something else, but basically it's a soap that you wash your dishes with. But I take the facial sponges that you can find in the health and beauty section or on Amazon, whatever, right? They're super thin and they're already circled. You can go to like a dollar store or whatever and cut a sponge up and stuff, but for me, that takes too much time. This works just as well. Put a drop or so on here, put it in your bag, seal the bag, staple the label on it that you get from the sample making group, and then you hand it out. All the customer has to do when they get this is get the sponge wet and wash a couple dishes, and they'll see how nice that the dish soap works. If you want to use it in liquid form and make a whole bunch of those, then you want to get the type of pouches off of Amazon that can be sealed with like heat and stuff. But that gets messy, and I personally don't do that. This is just easier for me. Plus, this lays flat when I go to mail it. So once again, I don't have to worry about adding that extra postage because it's a bulk item or something like that. Another item that you can sample is the counter cleaners. Okay, what you want to do is get the little teeny tiny spray bottles that I believe I posted a link to. I got these on Amazon. They weren't very much, so you get the tube and the little spritzer, right? You pour the liquid in the tube, put the little spritzer cap on, and then print off. You can do one of two things. You can print off the sample label on an address label sticker and wrap it around this, or you can put it in one of the little baggies, put the tester in the baggie and staple the information about the sample onto the baggie. So that's a good way where they can test out how to test the counter cleaner on a small part of their counter for you. Okay, moving on to the body, because there's lots in body that we can do. I love using these. These are from the consultant store. They are the pre-made items, samples from the home office. I like it because one, they've already done the work for me. Two, all of the information is on the back, even though it's super small print and I can't read it very well, but the information is on there. All I have to do is slap on my address label with my contact information, and I'm done. I can be handing these out left and right. They're also fairly flat. Just make sure it doesn't go over the weight limit. So if you wanted to mail a sample, you could easily mail a sample to people. And those pouches have 4 different products in it. You got a hand soap, a body cream, a body wash, and a hand cream. They also have, at the time, I think 4 different scents in it. So there was shimmer, pineapple coconut, vanilla, go-go mango, and Luna was the other one in these samples. So with the new catalog, there's probably different samples in there. But like I said, that's an easy way to get stuff into people's hands. Another sample you can make is the Scentsy Soak. And once again, you just utilize those bags and take, I just have my handy dandy amazing tool here, right? It's just a plastic spoon. And I just open the bag, scoop out a tablespoon of the soak, or if you want to do 2 tablespoons, you can, and put it in the bag, seal it up, put the label on with all the directions and ingredients, and then I can hand it out to people. I also let people know when I hand them out, I'm like, yes, you can use it in the bath, but you can also use it as a hand soak, a foot soak. You know, it doesn't have to be a big old bathtub full of soap. They can use it in smaller containers. They just want to sit and soak their feet on a cold winter day, they can soak their feet. Or if they want to have like a little mini spa party with their kids, they can do that. You know, really, really simple with the samples for that. Recently, we were just approved from Scentsy to start making the sugar scrub samples. And so what I did is I got these little plastic tester thingies off of Amazon. And when you make these, you're going to want to make sure you have gloves on, because you don't want your skin oils and whatever's on your hands contaminating the sample, because people are going to be using this then on their skin. So make sure you have gloves and a clean working surface area. Pull your hair up so you don't get hair in the product and stuff too. But basically all I did is I took a butter knife and my samples, my gloves, and the 1 tub of the sugar scrub. And I just used the knife, scooped it up, spread it in this, put the lid on, and then put it in the bag with the label and everything. And 1 sugar scrub made 60 samples of these little guys for it. And I've been handing these out to people because sugar scrub sales have been kind of slow. And I'm like, this is amazing. Why aren't people buying this? But once I started handing out these samples in my party packets and stuff, people are like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. What other scents are available? And let me get that. And I kind of teased them because this is butter pecan. So really, as soon as you open it, it just smells absolutely amazing. And it kind of gets them hooked that way right away. So, you know, and they can use sugar scrubs not just to, you know, scrub off dead skin cells and all that off their hands and feet, but, you know, they can use it before they shave, you know, to get a better, closer shave, spa parties, a whole bunch of fun little stuff like that. So that's the body care line of samples that I've made, and pretty much all of the samples that you can make with the body. Oh, no, sorry. You can also use those little spray bottles, and you can make the fragrance mist samples with those as well too. So, right, so I'll go to the pet line for samples for you guys. So with the pet line, Scentsy already has the pet shampoo in this amazing little pouch. labeled and ready for us to go. So I like using them because it's a good amount of sample and I just have to slap a sticker on it and I can easily hand it out to people. What I just did this week to go with my my doggy bag that I'm going to hand out is I made a sample of the deodorizing spray and a sample of the no knot detangling spray. And so this is the final product. I just poured some of the liquid into the bottles, put the lid on, and then slapped a sticker on it. And this sticker is what you can find in the All About Samples Facebook page. So like I said, they have all the information on there. I just added my contact information onto it. And you can put a sticker on there, or if you get the stamps from Vistaprint, just stamp it before you put it on the bottle and you're good to go. All your contact info is on there. What I found with this, I believe one bottle of the spray made almost 60 samples. Again, I love that they're all making like 60 samples. I don't know how I did that, but it's been really great because it makes it easier for me when I'm trying to figure out stuff. So those are really easy samples to make. Something else that you can do, a little bit more cost efficient if you are tight on budget, get the postcards and then get the scented stickers, and then people can smell the scents that way and they can see what they like. So there's no wrong way to sample. You can sample however you want. The last samples that I want to talk to you guys about are our laundry care items. And yes, you can make these yourselves, but save yourself some time. If you can afford it, just get the pre-made packet that the home office has for us in the consultant store, because it's super easy. You just label it and hand it out. This gets heavy to mail, so make sure you're either physically handing it out to people or just know that it is going to be a little bit heavier to mail. So you might want to throw some other things in there to make it worth your buck, so to say. But they have a scent soft, laundry liquid, and washer whiffs that you can pick up in different scents and things too. If you want to get the Scentsy Fresh in people's hands, right, use those bottles again, the spritzers, and make up some Scentsy Fresh sprays and get them labeled, and people can test out the products that way too. So last but not least, I want to go back to the postcards. I love handing out these scented postcards. I like to put them in my party packets. I like to hand them out at booths. I like to have them in my purse, so when I see people, they can have my contact information. They can go ahead and smell the scents. You can easily throw a postcard stamp on here and mail it to people. There's lots of things that you can do with these scented stickers. So what I did is I bought last catalog. I bought all the different postcards and all the different scented stickers, and then I categorized them into my amazing binder that I found at the grocery store. And I separated out, like, the first section is wax and oils, and then, you know, body, laundry, pet, and clean, right? So each different category has its own scented stickers, and it's really cool because the body care stickers are shaped like a body wash bottle. The laundry care stickers are shaped like a t-shirt. Pet line is shaped like a paw, and the clean is shaped like a dish soap bottle. So then you have these nice categories, and you can tell what goes to what specific product and stuff like that too. You could even, if you know somebody likes Johnny Appleseed, then throw a wax sticker on there and whatever other stickers that is in, or just write on there, this scent's also in these line of products, you know. The oil, there's even oil stickers. So if you need people to get more into the oils, buy the oil stickers and hand those out to people. They're pretty cool because that sticker is shaped like one of our oil bottles. So, and those scents are exclusive to just the essential oils and natural oils line of scents and stuff. But then what I did is I also broke down in my binder, I broke down the stickers according to what party packet I'm going to put those stickers in. So I have like certain wax stickers that are going to be for Facebook parties, DIY parties, and bingo parties. Same with my oils. Those are in certain parties. The soaks, I have Facebook and DIY because I put only those in those two parties. The washer whiffs are for my, the laundry care is for my bingo parties. The clean is for my, what's the clean for? Oh, my Facebook parties, I believe. And then pet sample stickers I hand out to anybody who has a pet and who tells me in RSVPs and tells me that. So with my party packets. So get a binder, get the stickers that you want, or go all out and get the stickers, all the stickers. The great thing is if that scent gets discontinued and it doesn't come back the next season, or it doesn't come back, like those are all the spring scent stickers. If it doesn't, those don't come back for the next spring, that's okay. You don't waste your money. What I do then is I have my handy dandy little bucket that says scented stickers. I individually cut them all up, and I'll throw these stickers in like envelopes or in when I'm at booths, I'll hand them out to the little kids. I even use these stickers to put on anything that I mail, so people know when it says Kelly Tilton in the return address, and then they see the sticker, they're like, "Oh, that's my Scentsy lady." So then they get all excited and they open it up. So there's tons of ways to use these. I even throw them in for team gifts and stuff for you guys. So introduces people to different scents, and it's a great way to also showcase, bring back my bar, and get some smelling scents that they may not have smelled before, and then they can vote on it for it to come back. So I think that's that. I hope I covered everything. Let me look on my notes here. Yes, so I want you guys to take 5 things to take away from this, okay? Number one, and if you don't take anything else away from this, this is the number one thing you need to remember. Do what you can afford when it comes to samples and handing things out. I don't want you guys going broke. The point to being a Scentsy consultant is, one, having fun, but also you're in a business, making money with that business. So do what you can afford. Don't use your family money for Scentsy. Use Scentsy for your family type of stuff, and use your Scentsy money also back in your business. But no, budget it. 2, start small. Pick something that you want to make a sample with, or maybe an area or a product line that isn't selling very well for you. Pick one of those and make samples out of it and introduce it to people. That's why I started doing the bottles, so I can get the more people trying out the pet line of products, or more people trying out the Scentsy Fresh and stuff like that, because those don't sell very well for me. And so I'm trying to get it in people's hands. So start small. 3, make sure you hand them out. It does no good if it's collecting dust in your office. So you have to be handing them out. 4, with every sample that you hand out, make sure you get that person's contact information. Otherwise, you've also wasted a sample because you can't follow up with them. You did and you didn't waste a sample. They may order, but if you can't follow up with them, they may not be reminded that they wanted to order. So, and number 5, that leads me into number 5, follow up with every sample that you hand out so that you can service your customers, and then they'll see that you're serious about your business and that you'll build loyal customers. With every follow-up that you do, you're building a loyal customer who will shop with you instead of some random person that they find on the street. So that's it. That's all about samples. You guys have any questions before we close our meeting? I'm going to double check on Facebook and see if somebody had a question real fast. Let me see. Nope, no questions there. All right, so if you guys have a question anytime when you're making samples, please, please, please reach out and let me know, or let your upline know, or post it on the group pages that we have. But I would love to see any sample that you guys create. Post a picture of it and share what it was that you made, why you made it, and how you made it, so that we can all share in making the samples. I'll put an album up in our group pages. It'll say samples. go to the photos, add your sample picture to those photo albums, and then we can have an easy place where we can make and see samples and everything like that.
Kelly, can I just add something with the samples?
Yes.
Make sure, like a lot of people have been making their own body samples, that we are not allowed now, as it is out of compliance, to use the ones that are in the store only, other than Scentsy soap and Scentsy scrub.
They said they changed it. They said we can make those, but we have to follow the guidelines that are put in it. But your region may not allow it. I know region 1 is allowing it. But you're correct. Region 3 may not be allowing it. So you guys need to check the guidelines for your
Where
region.
where can we find out that? Because the last we were told we weren't allowed to, but then someone said about as long as we've got all the description and that on it, we should be allowed.
Yes.
And then it come back, no, we couldn't.
Okay, I will double check it. The last I heard we could, as long as all the information is on there. I think it's in the Scentsy standards guidelines. So I will double check and scroll through there and find it and post it for everybody. But give me some time because that's like 80 pages to read through. So I'll read through that. And if I can't find it, I will double check with the home office and make sure on all of that.
No, thank you.
I'll make sure I get for all regions so that we know what is good to go for everybody, not just one region. So I'll get it all clarified. All right, any other questions? No. All right, you guys have an amazing rest of your weekend. You guys have a great Sunday in Australia, and everybody in the US have a wonderful Saturday night. And our next meeting, I want to do it on the air purifier, but mine has not shipped and has not been delivered. So as soon as I get it, then I'll be able to play around with it and use it, and then I can set a date for that training. If I don't get it in time for our next August training, I will at least go through the product training guide with everybody. So we'll at least do a product training of some sort later on this month. And if you guys want me to showcase a specific product that you would like help being trained on, let me know in advance and I will get all that information and have products here to show you what it looks like and how it works and everything. So that's it for tonight. You guys have a wonderful beginning of August, and I will catch up with you guys later. Bye.